We back.
What's
Let's
up,
go.
guys?
I know you guys missed us last week, but we're back.
Yes. So we will have a lot to go over today. We're just going to do the one episode, the college and NFL, like Hunter and I have been doing recently. We have some sad news. I don't know if that's going to be sad for everyone. Phil, I'm just kidding. But Phil will no longer be a weekly host on our podcast moving forward. Life's just getting a little bit too busy for him. We will more than likely be introducing a new co-host here in the next week or two, so keep an eye out for that. So a lot of big things happening. Once again, sticking with the segment-based stuff, trying to rapid fire through this stuff today. It was honestly, college was a little bit underwhelming this week with the slate, and I know NFL was pretty exciting.
NFL's always exciting.
Yeah, that I know you feel that way. And there's honestly, when we get to NFL, there's a lot of like fantasy stuff that just kind of ticks me off. So we'll go over that as well.
Yeah, if you guys can't tell, I'm a big NFL guy. Guy.
I just like football because it lets me steer away from my life. So I get something else to focus on.
He is such a hard life, guys.
It's so hard.
He needs an escape.
I need an escape on the weekends. That's what this is. I built a fence, and you can't even see it a little bit. Kind of cut my hand up a little bit.
What'd you do? Do you put a nail in your finger?
No. Okay. So there's this like when you're putting a fence post in, you know that thing you gotta, I forget what it's called. You gotta like bang the fence post down.
Yeah, I know what
I forget what it's called. But since we were doing it right up against the house, so the dog couldn't snake out anywhere, I like scraped it on the window. I have gloves and I wasn't wearing them. And the thing about the winter is my hands get so dry, and if I even like so much as brush up against it, my hands just start bleeding. So
I think one other thing before we jump into football, I want to call out. You know, me and Bailey were just hanging out on the couch last week, and we get a Snapchat from Julia, Noah's wife, of a bear just hanging out in a tree above his house. It was pretty cool, honestly. They just sent us a video of a black bear just climbing up a tree. That doesn't happen in Pennsylvania at least where I live. Some areas I'm sure there's some black bears, but we don't get that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I would have been out there with the beer and a lawn chair just watching that bear. I don't know. Something about just watching a bear, something you don't see every day in the wild. That thing could just kill anything.
Not a black bear. Not a black bear. Well, actually, okay.
They're scaredy cats, but they could still.
I can't say they can't kill you. Like, there has been under one black bear attack for like the last 150 years. Like
that's because if you just put your arms up and go raw, they'll run away. So
I will say,
if you see a brown bear, though, you're screwed.
Yeah,
it's over.
You play dead. If you see a black bear, you make noise.
You play dead. You put your hands over the back of your neck because
so it doesn't just
they're gonna claw.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say about that, sitting there and watching the bear would have been my first thing, but he was literally like, he looked terrified. He was just like sitting up in the tree, just like staring at us, and he had no other way down. So I didn't want to make Buddy
just play fetch.
I've seen some videos of people who have tame bears out in the wild who raise them since they were cubs, so I could see that happening.
All right, welcome to Life Lessons 101, everyone.
And hey, the Ravens tamed the Bears. All right, we're not getting an NFL yet, but they did. All right, college football recap. Our blitz. I just have a quick Oregon one. So these are going to be ranked teams to beat unranked teams, so not really surprising outcomes here. Oregon wins, Indiana wins, Alabama wins, Georgia Tech wins, Miami, BYU, Texas Tech, Virginia, Tennessee, Louisville, Cincinnati, Texas, and Michigan all came through. Now, a couple of highlights.
What was Oregon set at?
Like the line?
Going into that game. Yeah.
It was like 35 and a half. It was very underwhelming.
Yeah, they only beat 21-7. I mean, I know they're still ranked 6th in the league. Do you think they make it anywhere in the playoffs?
Matchup dependent. Fully matchup dependent.
Who do you think, of the playoff contenders right now, who do you think they could beat week 1 playoffs?
If I'm looking at the top 12 currently of just college football, not even going, like just top 12 rankings, if I go all the way down from 12, I think they could beat Notre Dame. I think they could beat Miami. I think they could beat BYU. I think they could beat Vanderbilt. I think they could beat Georgia Tech. I think they could beat Ole Miss. And I think they could beat Georgia. I
disagree with a couple of those. I don't think they beat Ole Miss. I don't think they beat Georgia. I think it would be close.
I said I think they can beat.
Miami.
I'm not saying they will. Yeah, Miami kind of scares me because they did just lose, and this is the episode we missed. They lost to Louisville a week and a half ago, so kind of a boneheaded loss on their end. The four best teams right now are Alabama, A&M, Indiana, and Ohio State, and obviously that's why they're the top four in the country. I think Oregon would lose to all four of those. I mean, they lost by 10 at
100%.
home to Indiana,
I mean,
so
they barely beat the crappy Penn State team. So
yeah. Yeah. Okay. I will say, if we want to get into that, Penn State was not a broken team at that point in time. And then after that game is when like everything went downhill. I'm not willing to say Penn State. And also all their losses are against teams with, well, okay, UCLA just got boat raced by Indiana by 50. That is Indiana's second 50-plus point win in Big Ten play this year. They look like an absolute wagon. Them and A&M look pretty much a tier above Alabama, in my personal opinion, up with Ohio State at the top. It's those three teams that
I'd
look the
put them
most
up there.
impressive. Yeah.
I'd put them up there. What? So has there been any movement on the Penn State head coach?
No. There were a couple guys that were like, yeah, we're not going to go there. So like Marcus Freeman was like a long shot guy. Signetti, obviously. I can see Mike Elko for A&M. I could see him getting a long-term contract because A&M has that kind of money. So, I mean, if Penn State gets Brian Kelly, I would probably root for another team.
I would cry.
I don't
I
let.
would cry.
I would rather rehire James Franklin than get him.
I think that I would take James Franklin as well.
Yeah.
Not Mr. I'm good. You can't fire me.
Yeah, he's also just like a scumbag human being with like the inadvertently killing the student grad assistant that was helping with the team like 15 years ago. Did you know that story, right?
No, I don't. Fill me in, sir.
Okay,
Let our fans know
we
how
do have
this
a lot to
coach
go.
like
We do have a lot to get
inadvertently
over.
killed someone.
So he had a basically the camera guy that was shooting their practice film. There were 50, it was like 30 to 50 mile an hour winds going on in a huge storm, and they were practicing outside. Instead of using caution, because this gentleman had to be perched on a pretty high like a pretty high object. He was perched pretty high. The wind conditions were not good for him to be perched on that object, and he still sent the kid out there anyways, and said object fell down and kid died. Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. There's also just like videos of him pushing coaches, being terrible to players. Like past players come out and say, yeah, when I was a starter contributing to the team pretty frequently, coach always checked up on me. And the second I got injured, I never heard a word from him again. So he does not seem like a good culture guy. He seems all about me, me, me. I don't want this man as a head coach.
Neither do I. I don't think anyone from Penn State wants him. I think that everyone would take James Franklin back on a heartbeat over Brian Kelly.
I also just don't think he's that great of a head coach. He has been at two elite programs in Notre Dame and LSU and not accomplished a thing at either of them. People will say, "Oh,
Yeah.
he took Notre Dame to a
James
national
Franklin
championship,"
built an
but
elite.
they lost.
The difference is James Franklin built an elite program.
Yeah.
He just joined them.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
Finish your blitz. I interrupted you.
Alabama probably should have lost against South Carolina, but they pulled out that win. Georgia Tech and BYU stayed undefeated, which is kind of two of the bigger surprises this year. They are both 8-0. Other ones along the line, Cincinnati keeps winning. That's surprising in my own humble opinion. And then Texas, a team that I just honestly want to die and I never want to watch play football ever again, somehow comes back from down 17 in the fourth quarter to Mississippi State and wins the game at overtime. Arch Manning was knocked out with a concussion, and I did turn this game on late to watch it. He got rocked. I kid you not. He rolled over and tried to sit up and just like fell back down. He didn't
go. Did he?
No.
Did he go
it was like a quick. When you see him hit the ground, they go stiff for a second and then they sit back up. Like the lights are out for like a half second. Yeah, he wasn't okay. He wasn't limping or anything. But he needed people to carry him off the field, basically. Losses from teams in the top 25. Illinois lost a pretty high-scoring game to Washington. Arizona State has lost to yet another interesting team this year in the Houston Cougars, who I have not got a lot of eyes on this year, but they keep winning football games. And then South Florida, the team that we all picked that everyone thought was going to be a shoo-in for the college football playoff out of the group of 6 teams. drops a heartbreaker to Memphis. I will say in this game, South Florida at the end blew a lead. They were at the 28-yard line with 15 seconds left. Instead of running the ball, they got greedy and tried to throw a pass down the field, got called for a holding, got pushed 10 yards back, and missed the game-tying field goal.
Ugh.
Yep. So disgusting. And then out of the top 25 matchups, we had Ole Miss beat Oklahoma. They blew a lead there around third quarter time, and then they ended up closing out that game pretty strong. Rushing game looked good. Pass game looked good. Their defense stepped up when need be. Vanderbilt won a close one to Missouri. Missouri lost Bo Pribula for the season. He pretty much suffered the same injury that Drew Aller did. And the play in which we are talking about where he got injured, just disgusting act by the Vanderbilt guy. He kind of did not a gator roll, but he put his forearm down and kind of pulled his leg up.
Yeah.
Just people are like, he was just finishing the play. And I'm like, he's bent backwards on the ground for a solid 3 seconds before this guy starts pulling. It was a dirty play. Regardless, Vanderbilt is in the top 10 now. And I believe they were last year as well. Number 9 is the highest that Vanderbilt has been in the rankings since. And just pick a year for me, Hunter. This is the trivia of the day.
Give me 2007.
Your guess is 2007?
Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry.
When's the last time Vanderbilt was ranked this high?
What are they at right now?
Number 9.
1993.
Okay. I am going to do you know how they do the Aflac trivia question where they tell you half a quarter later?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you at the end of the college segment.
No, I hate that. All right. The other thing I wanted to bring up, let's see. Are they supposed to have a decent defense? Because
No.
Yeah, their defense
They're supposed to.
Because they've given up over 30 to 3 unranked teams, and then 26 and 21 to 2 other unranked teams. That's not great. That's not great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that game, I actually had a play on that game, and I took the over because I said this to Phil. Tennessee's defense has been extremely underwhelming for SEC play and are letting teams, like you just said, Kentucky scoring 30 plus. Kentucky should never get 30 plus in a football game. It's just how Tennessee plays, and when Tennessee plays decent defenses, they really don't do too much. So last matchup that I wanted to talk about, one of the teams that cemented themselves as a top 3 and honestly looking like a powerhouse. This is Hunter's preseason SEC dark horse. To the Texas A&M Aggies go into Tiger Stadium. They have a halftime deficit of, I forget if it was 1 or 4 points. I can't really remember. And then absolutely beat the brakes, belt to butt, on the LSU Tigers. Just this team is impressive to watch. This team just got Brian Kelly fired, which we talked about already. But Texas A&M, Hunter, good prediction. Usually they come in with a lot of high expectations and end up dropping a few games they shouldn't. But this year they're taking care of business.
So I just went and I peeped their kind of the scoring plays. They were down 4 going into half, and then they scored 5 straight touchdowns before LSU answered with 59 seconds left in the fourth.
Yep.
They had a 80-yard punt return, and then the rest were just average plays.
When I tell you that it hit a point in the game where you were like, oh, the floodgates open. It was
the floodgates. I'll tell you exactly which point the floodgates open. I just closed it. The floodgates opened.
I'll say when that punt return got returned because that put them up by the second score.
Yeah, that was their. I would probably say the floodgates opened right after that. Actually, yeah, that started the floodgates. I'll say that started the floodgates. I think that they were fully open after their 3rd touchdown.
Yeah.
But the water gates were just. It was starting to flow a little bit. It was like opening up a dam. You know how it's slow at first? They got to push all the mud out, and then the water starts flowing. That's what it was like.
There we go.
All right. Let's move into some of our predictions, Noah. Let's do that. Let's predict some college. I need you to tell us, fill us in the crowd. What are the current scores? What are me, you, and Phil at right now? Am I in first yet, or are you still in first?
I am just barely clinging onto a lead in the FallBall 5.
The little fall ball. For any of you that can't see, Noah just did a little FallBall 5 pose.
Yeah. Watch
I think
our
he's trying
YouTube, guys.
like a little Sweet Life of Zach and Cody pose right there.
I did not mention this, by the way. I will go over the records. Phil is still partaking in our 2 graphics that are on there because it is a season-long challenge. So he is giving us his picks, and then he will be giving us his underdog and best bet for the NFL segment. But for college, we will be going over the 5 matchups, largest spread, the smallest spread, just like always. Our first game that we're looking at here, the Cincinnati Bearcats, aforementioned, versus the Utah Utes, who are 8.5-point favorites at home.
So I went with Utah here. Am I happy about the Utah pick? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we just talked about how Cincinnati keeps winning. They just keep doing it. How? I don't get it. But I don't feel great about it, but I'm sticking with my gut. I went through these 5 guys. I was working late today. Didn't get an insane amount of time to prepare for the podcast. Went with my gut on the 5, and Utah was it, so I'm sticking with it. What do you got?
Well, part of me was about to just say, I'm just going to pick everything that you pick from now on so that we just end the season and I am up by 1. Also, I didn't say the records. I have not said it yet. I'm 30-20. You're 29-21. Phil's 23-27. So you're 1 game back.
Phil, you were supposed to be our college expert, pal.
Phil likes picking the underdogs every week for the good story.
Rooting for the underdogs is fun.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
But I'm going to go with the Utah Utes here. Honestly, 2 very good football teams that are playing. This is a 10-15 night game for Utah. They are used to playing at this time. Cincinnati is not. It's also at home for Utah. Their backup quarterback played this last game against Colorado, and no one knew how it was going to go. They were up. They won 53-7. So this backup quarterback can play as well. And Cincinnati has a little bit of a leaky defense. So I will be taking the Utah Utes.
No, will actually be in Pennsylvania at my household while we're watching this game.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely probably be at the house at that point. Are we watching this game then?
What else?
This is gonna be the late night game for us. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna watch football all weekend.
With me. I'll actually watch Saturday football.
It stinks because this slate had 7 ranked matchups.
Bring your clubs. Bring your golf clubs.
Okay.
We're gonna go golfing on Saturday.
This was the weekend that everyone preseason, when all the rankings were released, was wow, this is a heck of a weekend, because it was like Ohio State, Penn State, and all these ranked matchups, 7 ranked matchups, and now we have like 3. So just this season's been a lot different than we thought.
The BYU Texas Tech game will probably be great.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah. How do you not have that in? Oh no, that's defying.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, hold on. What's this weekend?
It's the
you're right. That's the following weekend.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, that would have been on there if it was this weekend. I could have done that wrong. All right. Georgia Tech at NC State. Georgia Tech is a 5.5-point favorite.
Give me the Techineers. Give me Georgia Tech.
Yeah, this is you're not gonna steer me off this ship either. Haynes King is playing like a dark horse Heisman contender. He is playing exactly how everyone thinks Diego Pavia for Vanderbilt's playing. He has better stats to back it up. So yeah, give me the Yellow Jackets. I don't know why I always go out of order, but we got Navy at North Texas next. North Texas 6.5-point favorites at home.
I needed to be very clear here. I support our military. Give me Navy.
Are you actually?
Give me Navy.
Okay.
Navy upset right here.
The only thing about this game that does kind of scare me is I'm not going to say North Texas has that much of a home crowd. They've been better this year because they're a good football team. Navy just runs the football really, really tough.
Pound the rock.
North Texas can't stop the run, and North Texas can throw the football around a whole lot. I think their quarterback just threw for like 500 plus last week, and Navy has like no good corners. So if you're looking for a game to maybe smack the over in, I haven't gandered at it yet. This might very well be a game. Hunter, I need you to check that over for me while we're going.
I'm looking. Yeah, I don't even see them in the.
It's a noon slate.
The top 25.
It's a noon slate. Neither of them are ranked right now.
Why are we rooting on? Oh, 60, excuse me.
65.5.
Sorry, didn't mean to curse there.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Didn't mean to cuss.
No, so So the main reason is I'm trying to include some of these smaller scale games, as in Navy is undefeated at 6 or 7-0, and North Texas is like 7-1. So these are two teams that are fighting for that playoff spot with South Florida going down. And also, there's just not a lot of great games this weekend. So I am going to go with North Texas. I just think I don't think Navy's going to be able to score with them. Next game, Oklahoma at Tennessee. Tennessee's a 3-point favorite at home.
I think that Tennessee wins this game. I think they have a powerhouse of an offense. Their defense has been bad this year. I just don't think that Oklahoma's going to put up enough points to compete with Tennessee.
Yeah, that's kind of where I lay too. I'm going to take Tennessee, and also Neyland's crazy to play at. So I always lean with home teams if I'm a little bit unsure of the matchup. And then the last game, we got the Vanderbilt Commodores at Texas. 2.5-point favorites are Texas. This line shifted from 1.5. I don't know what it was at open, but it already shifted a point today.
Give me Vandy.
Okay.
Give me Vandy. I'm going with the underdog. Probably going to hurt me this week. I'm probably going to be at least 2 games under Noah after this week, but give me Vandy. I want them to win.
I want to be different today. I picked Vanderbilt the last 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. Give me Texas. I want them this is a reverse jinx. I want them to lose this football game. I just think their defensive line is very, very good compared to what Vandy has seen this season. It's pretty comparable to Missouri, and I do think Texas's offense is a little bit better than Missouri's with Bo Pribula out. Also, this game does have a lot to do with Arch, but I think this line is indicative of Arch playing this weekend if it's Texas is favored. So yeah, that is our college football segment for the day. I will be introducing my own segment whenever we get our co-hosts. I'm still figuring out what I want to do.
It's taking him forever to pick one. It's taking him so long. People, give us some ideas. He needs some ideas on what to do.
Okay, Blair had given an idea one day where it was because he makes fun of me for never being able to win money. It was just pick one bet a week and see how many units I'm down by the end of the season. Hey, we did that, and it's called Best Bets and Underdogs. So we'll get into that later.
Yes, we did, and I'm winning in that one. I need one of my underdogs to hit, but we'll get into that. Let's move on to the National Football League. Noah, blitz it up.
I'm just gonna. We're human beings, by the way. I know we have a podcast. We're super fun and awesome, but I just gotta say, Hunter always has some random fidget in his hand. Sometimes it's a knife. Sometimes he has a lighter. He just has a lighter. He just keeps flicking it on, and I'm watching fire occur in real time. Cavemen would be going goo-goo for this stuff. All right.
I just can't. I have to be playing with something at all times. It's a problem. I get it, but life's life. Let me live my life.
So this week is what was known as Bye-Mageddon, with 6 teams on a bye. And there was also National Tight End Day this weekend, where the sports books, such as DraftKings, limited you to 4 tight end plays because they were afraid of losing money. So, DraftKings, this is for you. You're okay. All right. Let's get into the recap, guys. They're okay. They're okay. They're okay. They have that parlay or the early exit insurance, which I am a fan of. So we're good there. So, starting on Thursday night, we had the Chargers show out against Minnesota Vikings. Carson Wentz has negative pocket presence. Enough said there. Ladd McConkey is now emerging as the wide receiver one, as everyone thought he would this year.
Wentz should have been pulled out of that game. Basically played through a bad shoulder injury half of that game. You could see him getting up after some of those hits, and he was just in a ton of pain. You know, I always look at Wentz, and I remember 2017 Wentz. I remember the God tier MVP, leader in MVP votes, Wentz, before he was injured. And God knows how good he would be if he wasn't injured that day. He lost all confidence because his backup QB came and won the Super Bowl. So I feel for the guy a little bit. But, you know, I think that JJ's coming back. JJ's not that good. So, sucks for the Vikings. They should be looking for a QB.
Yeah. And on top of that, ever since the news broke, and I mean, there's probably been, I can't even say that because they lost to the Colts last week, but Herbert's been balling out for the most part. the last few weeks. Honestly, most of the season outside of a couple games. He's dating Madison Beer, guys, so he's got a lot to look forward to after the football game. So
Yeah.
good for him. Good for him.
I will say one other thing, fantasy wise, might be time to start sitting QJ. He was amazing beginning of the year. He got a little injured, missed one game, came back, had 11 fantasy points, but only because he had a touchdown. He had like 2 or 3 catches that game.
Yep.
And then last week he had 0 catches. So I think it might be time to bench him. I know we're in big buy situations right now. So if you can't, that's okay. He always has potential to have a big game. He's the Rashid Shaheed of the league. Potential of a big game, or could get you 0 points.
Yeah.
But
Hunter, right. I'm going to yell at you. Stop strumming that thing while you're talking. You can strum it while you're not talking because I can mute you. All right? You can play. That's fine. I don't like that thing can snap back and forth either. But
I will say,
if we're looking at Chargers lineup for fantasy purposes, your number one guy that you're starting every single week right now is Ladd McConkey. Aronde Gadsden's now a tight end 1, and Keenan Allen's a very, very good flex on a week-to-week basis. He's not going to be the type of guy that's going to give you 30 on a week like Ladd potentially could, or Gadsden is starting to turn up like that guy. But Keenan's going to get you 10 to 15 every week, and sometimes that's all you need for a flex player. I have him in like 2 or 3 leagues. I'm happy with him. So 1 o'clock window this past week, we had and I had brought it up, Ravens get a win with Lamar out. Very impressive from their defense showing out and getting healthy. Derrick Henry looked a little bit back to his vintage self with that O-line blocking a bit more for him. And then Caleb Williams just had a rough game. So good on the Ravens. They get another game against the Dolphins this week, and they are basically neck and neck with the Steelers in the betting lines to win the division and make the playoffs. So
the Ravens could go on a spree here. Their defense is showing back up from injuries. The Lamar Jackson injury, which was weird to me, but can't believe he was out for 3 weeks. He's going to be back.
Yeah, that was weird.
So they're healthy. We should see an uptake in them. Thank God they beat the Bears. I think if they lost to the Bears, that put them out of playoff contention. And now they beat the Bears, and they have an easy Dolphins week. If they win this week, then they're going to be neck and neck with the Steelers.
Okay, we say easy Dolphins week. Dolphins just went on the road and beat the Atlanta Falcons by like 20 plus. Is this more of a Dolphins might have figured something? Okay. I segued this into the Dolphins-Falcons game. Was this more of a Kirk Cousins, late Drake London scratch than it was the Dolphins kind of figuring some stuff out? Or do we have to give some credit to the Dolphins here?
I think you can give a minute credit to the Dolphins. Minute. What a word. Very minuscule. But the Falcons, I mean, this is what their second blowout. The Panthers did this to them as well. So, I mean, that's 2 bad offenses putting up a ton of points against them. I think this is more on their defense than anything.
Yep, their defense did not do well at all. That was kind of the main concern coming into the year was their defense. Their pass rusher, oh my gosh, who's the guy they drafted? I believe out of Alabama. I can't think of his name.
Arkansas.
I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But I know they got James Pierce Jr. off of Tennessee, and they got another edge rusher. Like that edge rusher that they drafted in the first round was hurt, and he's been out the last few weeks. So yeah, they have no pass rusher right now.
Yeah, I would give this more to a bad defense than a good offense. And the Ravens defense hasn't looked great either, but they're getting healthier. And I think that their defense is still better than the Falcons.
Yeah. All right. Well, then on top of that, Bills took care of the Panthers easily. Texans looked solid against the 49ers, played some really good defense. Eagles beat the Giants very handily. People will complain about the officiating in this game. We're not going to get into it. But the biggest news coming out of this week was Cam Skattebo, done for the season with an ankle injury. Absolutely brutal.
It's sad to see. As a division rival, it is sad to see that happen. It's sad. I mean, the man had a ton of potential. You know, injuries like this, sometimes guys don't come back. Like, they'll come back and play, but they won't come back and be who they were. I will say one thing about this as an Eagles fan. That was a fumble. I I cannot believe that they did not rule that a fumble. They didn't blow the whistle dead. He was still moving. He reached forward on a first down. This isn't the end zone, Jalen Hurts. This is not the end zone. That was a fumble. I will admit to it.
I don't know how you can mess it up that bad. And then Dable wanted to challenge it, and they wouldn't let him, and he threw the challenge flag out of spite just to make them watch how stupid the call was. Honestly, there's been some really bad calls. I don't know if I'm going to rank that top 3, but that was pretty egregious and terrible to watch. Like, forward progress was ruled when the Giants guy had the ball. So how are we going to do this right now?
I don't know, man. I texted Noah right away because I knew he was going to text me right away. These refs suck. They're
okay. The refs
versus the refs.
The NFL refs have been really bad this year. I'm not even just saying for the Eagles. They've been bad overall this season.
It's because of the sports books. Everything's rigged.
Probably. All right. Hey, don't get me going. All right. Next game. Jets. First win of the year. Bengals defense chokes, collapses.
Off of a crazy trick play, too.
Yeah. And I do have to say something about that. The Jets did not catch that 2-point conversion at the end of that game. So they're down by 14. You know how some teams, if they're in an away game or have been losing the whole time, will go for 2 so that a touchdown wins it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a play that they originally ruled incomplete. Then they called it a catch. And then on review, where you never saw an angle, it was one of those ones where it kind of slipped through his hand. You couldn't tell when he got possession of the ball. Like, he started on the goal line, but caught it like a foot or 2 forward. I really don't know how they overturned this and ruled it. But then all the Bengals had to do was get a first down or 2, which they had done all game, but they played too conservative. Flacco threw off his back foot. They were bringing pressure. I feel really happy for Justin Fields after what the owner had said about him. I'm glad to see that he performed. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I just think the Jets are that garbage of an organization that no quarterback would ever succeed there.
You want to know a crazy statistic? Who is the only QB in the NFL this year to not throw a pick?
I did just see this the other day. But were you going to say, is it Fields?
It's Fields.
Huh. I was using context clues there.
Yeah. I would hope that you would have gotten that.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some other games because I know we have a few more segments coming up. Patriots handled the Browns, nothing crazy there, as to be expected. Bucks pummeled.
Other injury that we didn't call out. Back to the Browns game. Quinshot Judkins is week to week. They've got a bye week coming up, which is a bless from heaven for them. Mm-hmm. So hopefully he's back the following week. I know for fantasy he's been wonderful for a lot of people, including me.
I have Saquon and Judkins on a bye this week. I am toasted. I'm toasted.
I'm having to pick up Rashard Smith this week to start.
But hey, the only good news is do I not have Rashard Smith in our league?
Different league.
Oh, okay. I don't even know if I have him. I'll check after the podcast.
I'm about to pick him up right now. I'm picking him up live. I'm picking him up live, people.
It's a Tuesday night. You can't pick anyone up.
Put it in my waiver. I lost.
That's
so
fine.
I won. What? How did I win?
Okay. We'll get into that later. But also, Saints are benching Spencer Rattler for Tyler Shuck, their quarterback that they just got in the draft. So we will see how that goes.
The 45-year-old quarterback rookie.
Broncos demolished the Cowgirls and unfortunately picked up an injury to Pat Surtain. But that was early in the game when it was competitive, and they still blew the Cowboys out anyways. So pretty impressive showing. Bo Nix has been balling out ever since the start of that fourth quarter against the Giants. Been playing really, really well. We have the Colts. I don't know why I put Titans over the Colts. The Colts obviously beat them by a butt ton. And what was the little tidbit you told me about Jonathan Taylor?
So Jonathan Taylor has more 3-touchdown games this year than 9 NFL teams. I can't rattle off all the teams right now. I know the Browns are one of them. I think the Texans are one of them. There's a couple other teams, but that is insane. This is the 2026 or 2025, Saquon Barkley. Should be in MVP talks. I know it's a quarterback award, which is stupid. They should make a quarterback most valuable award and then an actual most valuable award.
Yep. Offensive player of the year should be his if he continues to keep the pace that he has been doing. So That's what Saquon got last year,
Yeah,
right? Offensive player of the
I
year.
agree. You cut out
Okay.
there, so I'm losing you.
I was saying he should get offensive player of the year at least because Saquon did
Oh,
that last
100%
year.
agree.
Yeah.
100%
All
agree.
right. Yeah. And the Colts, Phil, whenever you listen to this, or I'm probably going to text you after this, you do owe me $20. Colts at 7 wins already. So, yeah. Danny Dimes,
for
baby.
for any of you that don't get that reference, we did a podcast, one of our game segments over the summer, where Phil would just not stop hating on Daniel Jones. I chimed in a little bit where here or there just for the fun of it, but Daniel Jones heard Phil talking and decided to ball out. Decided to become the best team in the NFL right now.
We also, by the way, will go over a recap for both of our games and predictions over the summer. Maybe we'll do that in our next episode of just how our win totals are going halfway through the year, how our predictions for college football were going halfway through the year. Because I mean, football is pretty much like right over halfway. I think NFL is right in the middle, but yeah, we'll do some of that stuff to see how smart we were, how good of ball knowers we were at the beginning of the season. Last two games of the week, Packers beat the Steelers Sunday Night Football. Tucker Kraft went nuclear on the Steelers. And
Absolutely
then
nuts.
Monday night, Chiefs, not too surprising with Jaden Daniels out. The Commanders I had seen hadn't beat the Chiefs in like 42 years. It's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Chiefs take care of business. Hunter literally sent me a text saying Mahomes and Kelsey were washed. And like two minutes later, I checked the scoreboard and Kelsey's got like 60
It
yards.
was 2 plays. It was literally two
Yeah.
plays. I was just messing around. It was
Yeah.
Kelsey. It was one of the picks. Kelsey tipped the ball into one of the defender's hands, and Mahomes had another pick before that. So that was just a joke in the sense of that happening. But bringing it back to tight end day, I believe there were 17 tight end touchdowns this weekend. 17.
Trivia time. No, we're not going to name all 17. But also, I have to give you my answer for the trivia time earlier for Vanderbilt.
Oh, yeah. What is
The
it?
answer is December of 1941. Do you know what happened that month?
Yeah.
The bombing of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, December 7th.
That's the last time Vanderbilt was ranked this high.
Damn. Is it because all the other teams sent their men off to war and Vandy decided to keep all of them and play football?
Yeah. Also, I really hope I heard the podcast I was listening to right. I think they were talking about Vanderbilt, but I was trying to fact check it before and I just couldn't find anything. Not of like the last time they did. I just couldn't find when they were ranked and I had to go through like their season list and all that and I didn't want to do it. So I am hoping that is true because I will sound like an
Hold
idiot.
on.
That's not.
I've got a friend. That can help us with this.
Okay. After
Do you know
that,
what her name is?
AI assist.
Yeah.
Is that actually her name?
I don't know. Well, you can
Okay.
call her
I'm
that.
gonna try to look at it too right now because I don't know why I couldn't find it. Or maybe okay. I think it might have been the last time they were 7-1, not ranked number 9. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I'm going to look up top 10 first.
Yeah, I think it was the last time they were 7-1.
1947 was
That
ranked.
was
Last time they were ranked in the top 10.
Okay.
Based off of the Wall Street Journal.
Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find the year that they did that, but in 1941 they were 8-2. So I mean, it kind of makes sense that that's the last time they're 7-1 to start a season. But yeah. All right, Hunter. We'll figure this out afterwards. I believe that is true. The fact check that I checked myself is last time they started season 7-1, not that they were ranked at number 9. I don't know if they were ranked higher than that at any point, but I'm pretty sure that this might be the highest they've ever been ranked in school history. I know Indiana is the highest. It's the highest they've ever been ranked.
It was the 7-1.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. They went 8-1 in 1941.
Yeah. All right. So close. Right. This might also be their highest of all time. But Hunter, what are we recalling this segment? I know it was Hunter Studs and Duds. What are we doing now?
I don't want to call it starts and sits because that's like boring and everyone does that. So like someone give me a better name to call it. But this week I'm just going to give you 2 starts and 2 sits. My 2 starts are actually on the same team. I think it's kind of crazy for me to do that, but We just talked about this guy emerging as a tight end one. My first start of the week, I did not start him last week, was very sad with myself. Oronde Gadsden should be one of your starting tight ends, should be your starting tight end moving forward. Maybe if you had guys like if you drafted like Colston Loveland and you had to pick up like Theo Johnson off a waiver wire, or if you had any injuries, I think that Oronde Gadsden is a key part of this offense moving forward for the Chargers, and they're playing against a Titans defense who isn't that strong. And the second guy that I am starting from that team is Kamani Vidal. The Titans rank 30th in the league of giving up fantasy points to running backs. Kamani Vidal should be starting in this week, at least a flex spot. But I would consider him an RB2, possibly an RB1 this week. I think he puts up probably around 18 to 20 points this week. My two sits of the week. One is going to be, hold on, let me pull it up real quick. I need to find the exact. Give me 2 seconds. My phone is being super slow.
1, 2, that's 2 seconds on it.
I know. Well, my phone is. Can you look it up real quick? Who are the Packs playing this week?
Off the top of my head, I believe it's the Panthers.
It might be the Panthers. If my phone would just load, which
I'm
would
looking
be
right
wonderful.
Yeah, it's Panthers. I'm God tier.
Panthers. So Panthers have a pretty strong passing defense. I think they're top 10 or bottom 10 in the league. Let me phrase this right.
Top 10 in the league.
Top 10 in the league of giving up least amount of fantasy points to wide receivers. So I would sit Romeo Doubs this week. He is a part of, I know, Dobbs, Doubs, Dobes, whatever. Noah's laughing at me right now, everyone, just because I can never pronunciate any of the guys' names in the league.
Doubs makes sense. Doubs is just
Doubs. But anyway,
Doubs.
He is a part of an offense where they cannot figure out who they want their number one guy to be. And then, well, wide receiver wise, tight end wise, we know Tucker Kraft, he's the guy. But wide receiver wise, they can't figure it out. Playing against a tough defense, I would sit Romeo. My second sit of the week is going to be Aaron Jones. He's coming back from an injury. He is splitting the backfield with Jordan Mason right now, and he is playing against a Lions defense who I believe is second in the league of giving up the least amount of fantasy points to running back. That defensive line, when healthy, is nasty. So I would definitely sit those two, and definitely start Oronde and Kamani this week. That's my starts and sits of the week. I will move into my waiver wire pickup of the week. So we talked about the awful injury to Cam Scatterbo. If any of you saw that video of his ankle sideways, it was just very sad to see. But waiver wire pickup of the week, I think he's at like 50% right now in ESPN or Yahoo. If he's still available somehow in your league, Tyrone Tracy should be picked up. He can work in the pass game with Jackson Dart. He can run the ball. He's not as good as Cam Scatterbo, but he will fill in that position, and he'll be able to play a similar aspect in the offense as Cam Scatterbo was. So I think that Tyrone Tracy is your pickup of the week. I would start him as a flex position. I would start Tyrone Tracy. Probably he would have to prove himself to me as an RB2, but I would consider him to be flex position, especially as we're emerging into the big bye weeks.
All right. And I have a pickup of the week as well. I know Hunter and I just talked about it a little bit. This is not my segment, by the way. Just a guy that we're talking about, Rashard Smith. He is going to be highly involved. He's been getting more and more work in that Chiefs offense this past game. Not so much, but they were also not in game script. Pacheco's down with an injury. Depending on the severity of that, I know it's week to week, but if he does miss 2 weeks, Kareem Hunt's not, yes, he's a bruiser back, but they're going to need someone as a nice change of pace. Rashard Smith is a really good pass catching back. There's a lot of bye weeks coming up. Good guy to kind of shelve into your flex. Just let him sit there. He'll get you probably like 8 to 12 points. So that's my pickup. of the week.
I don't mind that
Now,
pickup. I don't know if I would instant start him, only if you have a bye week with your running backs.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, with all the bye weeks, it's a good start. So
Yeah,
now, best bets and underdogs.
let's do it. I am still in the lead. I think almost all of my best bets have hit, except for the 1 week where I chose under instead of over accidentally. I meant to say over.
Yeah,
But
of course he did.
Noah, start us off. Give me your best bet of the week.
All right, so
What's it gonna be?
bro, I love no, it's
take
dumb.
take a Rondé Gadsden's over in yards whenever it comes out.
I gotta be
This is
honest. This is a line that's already there, and it's because it's a Thursday night play. We are going to take Derrick Henry 20 plus rushing attempts at plus 133. Miami, it rains a lot.
what's he averaging?
Lamar's coming back. He averages like 16 to 18. Now, this is a game I suspect the Ravens to be in positive game script for the most part. I don't foresee them having to pass the ball. I like to see them ground and pound. I also think Derrick Henry could run all over this defense. I know I was a little suspect on the Dolphins defense a few weeks ago, and Judkins didn't hit. He was like 5 yards short. And also that line, if I would have known it was set at 92, probably wouldn't have taken it because that's a lot of rushing yards for a rookie. But yeah, give me Derrick Henry 20 plus because I have a little bit of ground to make up. And I will, after I say this pick, I'm going to say where our units are. I'm going to go with the Titans at plus 410 to upset the Los Angeles Chargers. And this is nothing more than there's not a lot of good teams this week. I'm going to get one in that like 7 to 14 point range that I feel like has a chance. The Chargers just from week to week look like a completely different team. And we'll see. We'll see if the Chargers.
I don't hate it. I was between them and my team, so I'll roll in with my.
Hey, no. You wait for a second.
No, don't you dare point at me. No,
Mister 0.1 units in the green, the only man out of all of us in the green, up 0.1 units. Phil is down 1.7. Once again, he will be giving us his picks. I'll say his last. And then I am down at 5.1. I will say I got lucky last week because there was a botched timing at the end by the Panthers, and my first half under cashed by a half a point. So let's go. All right, Hunter, now you can go.
So my sleeper of the week, my underdog, the team that's going to upset, give me the Falcons. We were just talking about how bad their defense is. I just think that, there weren't a ton of games this week that I loved. A lot of them we were looking at, our rule is it has to be plus 3.5 or it has to be greater than 3.5 spread. And a lot of the spreads this week were plus 2.5, plus 1.5, or plus 8.5, plus 9.5. There weren't really any around that like 4 or 5 sweet spot. But the Patriots are really good. Drake May is absolutely balling this year. Patriots found themselves another star quarterback. I don't know how, but I think that if they can actually get the offense rolling, Penix is going to be back. Drake London will be back. If Bijan and Drake London can get going, the Falcons have a really good offense. The thing is that defense is going to have to step up. I mean, Drake May is putting up numbers this week or this year. So I think that this could be a high-scoring game. I think this could actually be a very high-scoring game. The Patriots have a decent defense, but not like nothing insane. We're not talking like the Browns defense here, but yeah, give me the Falcons at plus 215. And I am taking, hold on, let me make sure the line is still there. It's still there. I'm keeping the script, people. I love my over-unders. Give me the over in the Broncos-Texans game. Now, I know this is a battle of defenses here. 2 good defenses, but Surtain is out, so Nico Collins could absolutely ball this week. We've seen we've seen some regression from CJ Stroud, but I think that the Broncos are just also kind of a slept-on offense a little bit. I know Courtland Sutton isn't doing, amazing things this year. Troy Franklin is definitely stepping up for Bo Nix, and Bo Nix is really setting himself up to be the franchise quarterback that the Broncos need him to be. So I like the over in this game at 39.5. It's at minus 115. I think this line is going to be at 40.5, 41.5 by the time the games roll around, especially with Surtain being out. We'll see, what happens with that. But I like it. Keep rolling. I am almost 100% on my overs this year. So let's see if I can keep that trend going.
All right. And Phil's picks, he is taking the Steelers against the Colts. He didn't get another pick in, so we're just going to give it to him. It's at that like +3, +3.5 kind of uh, baseline there. It's +3.5 in some sports books. We usually use DraftKings, but we're getting +142 at DraftKings. I'm giving him that like line, but at the odds of DraftKings. And then he is going Chiefs Bills. He originally told me 51.5. That was earlier today. That line has shifted to 52.5. I will double check again, and that's at -108. So once again, this will just be me and Hunter for a little bit of the future. We may have someone as soon as next week. We may not, but we will keep you guys in the loop and make sure whenever we do get someone in here, you make it feel super welcome. Going to put out our graphics, and I'll get some video clips from this episode out as well this week. So keep a lookout on Instagram and TikTok. Hunter, any closing remarks?
Don't feel the need to make him feel warm and welcome. Make himself prove himself when he comes in. But no, I appreciate y'all listening. Give us a like and follow. All the usual stuff that everyone ends their videos on when they want you to follow them. That's gonna be my line from now on. I don't want to keep boring you guys with go follow us on Instagram and TikTok. You guys do what you want. If you like us, like us. If you don't. That's okay. We do this for fun. But appreciate you all listening. And if you guys have any comments on what you want to see more, let us know. I'm out.
Peace out, guys.